Tesla has yet again changed the prices of the Model 3 and Model Y. And why did the standard range Model Y disappear from Tesla's website? Let's check it out. First up today, we have yet another price adjustment to the Model 3 and Model Y lineup. Just a few days ago, Tesla lowered the prices for the Standard Range Plus Model 3 and Standard Range Model Y and increased the price of the Performance trim. Check out my last video linked up here for more information on that. Now, Tesla has added to those price changes by decreasing the price of the long-range dual-motor variants of both the Model 3 and Model Y by $1,000, bringing their current prices to $45,990 for the Model 3 and $48,990 for the Model Y. Adding this price decrease into the mix with the last price change from a few days ago, this makes the Performance trim a $10,000 option for the Model 3 and a $12,000 option for the Model Y. While a price drop is always welcome, the more interesting update that Tesla made to their website today is that the standard range Model Y no longer appears on their website configurator. This is a little weird since, like I just mentioned, Tesla reduced the price of this variant by $2,000 only a few days ago. So why would Tesla now decide to remove it from their website? Here are my theories on this. First, maybe the standard range Model Y was simply not popular enough to make it worth Tesla's while to keep it around. Keeping this variant around only adds complexity to the Model Y assembly line, since the two main components of the car, the battery and drivetrain, differ from the rest of the lineup, as the standard range only has one motor and a smaller battery pack than the dual motor long range and performance variants. It is hard to know exactly how popular the standard range Model Y has been since it was released about 6 weeks ago, although anecdotal evidence across the internet suggests that it was fairly popular. Second, perhaps Tesla is planning to bring along a standard range plus Model Y, in order to bring the Model 3 and Y offerings in line with each other. This would somewhat mirror what Tesla did with the standard range Model 3 way back when, originally having it as an option and then eventually removing it altogether, leaving the standard range Plus as the entry-level trim. Although, when further looking into the possibility of a standard range Plus Model Y, I don't think it is realistic. As was the case with the Model 3, a standard range Plus trim would suggest a higher range than a standard range trim. When comparing the ranges of the Model 3 to similar Model Y trims, the dual-motor long-range variants differ by 27 miles, and the Standard Range Plus 3 and Standard Range Y differed by 19 miles. These differences line up with each other pretty well, showing that there is not much room for an increase in range for a Standard Range Plus Model Y when compared to the range that the Standard Range Model Y had. This suggests that if Tesla were to introduce a Standard Range Plus Model Y because they want the Y lineup to mirror the Model 3 lineup, it would essentially have to be the exact same car as what they were just selling as the Standard Range version, but instead having a partial premium interior rather than a premium interior. And selling a car with the same range and 0 to 60 specs, but with a downgraded interior for the same $39,990 price tag just does not make much sense. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like and hit that subscribe button down below. My third guess at the reason behind removing the standard range Model Y from their website is related to the reform to the federal electric vehicle incentive program that might be coming soon. If the tax credit does come back, Tesla would obviously prefer to cash in on this by selling its higher profit margin vehicles to those consumers who could have only afforded the lower price variants if the tax credit didn't exist. Perhaps Tesla is preparing for the return of this tax credit by removing the lower priced standard range Model Y from its lineup. When considering the $7,000 tax credit and the $1,000 price cut that was just made to the dual motor long range Model Y, this brings the price of the dual motor long range within a couple $1,000s of the price of the standard range Model Y when not considering the tax credit. Although this does make sense, there is no indication that the reform tax credit bill will pass in the immediate future. My final theory here, and the one I hope to be true, is that this is yet another hint that the long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y is coming, and hopefully coming soon. Maybe Tesla released the standard range Model Y to simply gauge interest in a rear-wheel drive variant of the Model Y, since an all-wheel drivetrain is considered by many to be essential in a crossover-style vehicle. Using the standard range Model Y to test the waters of a rear-wheel drive Model Y would allow Tesla to get the rear-wheel drive Model Y assembly line started and rolling along, all while saving money, since the standard range uses a smaller battery than the long range, and the battery is the most expensive part of an electric vehicle. Also, remember that the standard range Model Y had a premium interior rather than a partial premium interior, which is another reason that this assembly line could easily turn into the assembly line for the long-range rear-wheel drive. So maybe interest in a rear-wheel drive Model Y was high enough for Tesla to want to sell a higher profit margin vehicle with this single-motor drivetrain, and the removal of the standard range from the website is a hint that the long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y is indeed coming soon. Why do you think the standard range Model Y has disappeared from Tesla's website? I think that either demand was too low and the added complexity to the assembly line was not worth it, or that demand was high enough for a single motor Model Y, and Tesla would rather sell a higher profit margin vehicle in the long-range rear-wheel drive variant. I would love to see a long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y, so I hope that this theory is correct. Let me know your ideas in the comments down below. Whatever Tesla's reasoning is behind this, for those who still want a standard range Model Y, there are currently 105 new standard range builds left in Tesla's inventory at the time of me recording this video. This is according to evcpo.com, a website that tracks Tesla's new and used inventory around the world. And that wraps up the video for today. As always, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this in the near future. I appreciate you taking the time to watch today, and I will see you back here in the next video.